Queen Elizabeth II served from 1952 to 2022 as a reigning monarch of the United Kingdom, which includes England, Wales, Scotland and Northern Ireland, and numerous other territories, as well as head of the Commonwealth, the group of 53 sovereign nations that includes many former British territories. Extremely popular for nearly all of her long reign, the Queen was known for taking a serious interest in government and political affairs, apart from her ceremonial duties, and was credited with modernizing many aspects of the monarchy. In September 2015 AD, Elizabeth surpassed the record of 63 years and 216 days on the throne set by Queen Victoria, her great-great-grandmother, to become the longest reigning British monarch in the history. In February 2022 AD, Elizabeth celebrated her Platinum Jubilee, marking 7 decades of her service to the Commonwealth. Queen Elizabeth II, who ruled the United Kingdom for 7 decades, was such a long-standing institution that it's easy to forget she wasn't supposed to have become queen at all. Born on April 21, 1926 AD, Elizabeth was the daughter of King George V's second son. Queen Elizabeth's full name is Elizabeth Alexandra Mary Windsor. She was named after her mom, Queen Elizabeth, the Queen Mother, as well as her father's grandmother, Queen Mary, and great-grandmother, Queen Alexandra. In late 1936 AD, her uncle, King Edward VIII, abdicated the throne to marry an American divorcee, Wallis Simpson. As a result, her father became King George VI, and 10-year-old Elizabeth became the heir presumptive to the throne. Educated by private tutors with an emphasis on British history and law, the princess also studied music and learned to speak fluent French. She trained as a Girl Guide, the British equivalent of the Girl Scouts, and developed a lifelong passion for horses. Elizabeth and her sister, Margaret, spent much of the World War II living apart from their parents in a royal lodge at Windsor Castle, a medieval fortress outside London. During World War II, when she was 19 years old, Princess Elizabeth joined the Auxiliary Territorial Service, where she was trained as a driver and mechanic. Princess Elizabeth married her third cousin Philip Mountbatten, formerly Prince of Greece and Denmark, on November 20, 1947 AD. Both were great-great-grandchildren of Queen Victoria and Prince Albert. She had set her sights on him when she was only 13, and their relationship developed through visits and correspondence during the World War II. With her father's health declining in 1951 AD, Elizabeth stepped in for him at various state functions. On February 6, 1952 AD, after a long illness, King George VI of Great Britain and Northern Ireland dies. Princess Elizabeth, the older of the king's 2 daughters and next in line to succeed him, was in Kenya at that time of her father's death. She was officially crowned Queen Elizabeth II on June 2, 1953 at the age of 27. Held at Westminster Abbey, Elizabeth's coronation ceremony was the first to be broadcast live on television. Queen Elizabeth II is the 6th queen to be crowned at Westminster Abbey. Queen Mary I was the first. She is also the 40th monarch to take the throne since William the Conqueror became the King of England in 1066 AD. During her early reign, Queen Elizabeth and her husband traveled around the world to different Commonwealth countries and territories. In response to pointed criticism in the press, the Queen embraced steps to modernize her own image and that of the monarchy, including televising her annual Christmas broadcast for the first time in 1957 AD. In 1981 AD, all eyes were on the royal family once again as Prince Charles wed Lady Diana Spencer. Though the couple soon welcomed 2 sons, William and Harry, their marriage quickly imploded, causing considerable public embarrassment for the Queen and the entire royal family. In 1986 AD, she went to China and became the first ever British monarch to visit the country. In 1992, Elizabeth's 40th year on the throne, both of his sons, Prince Charles and Diana, and Prince Andrew and his wife Sarah Ferguson separated. In the same year, her daughter Princess Anne and her husband Mark Philip divorced. Later that year, a fire broke out in Windsor Castle, destroying more than 100 rooms. After Charles and Diana divorced in 1996 AD, Diana remained incredibly popular with the British and international public. Her tragic death on 31st August 1997 AD triggered a tremendous outpouring of shock and grief, as well as outrage at the royal family for what the public saw as its ill treatment of the people's princess. Though Queen Elizabeth initially kept the family, including Prince William and Harry, out of the public eye in Balmoral, the unprecedented public response to Diana's death convinced her to return to London, make a televised speech about Diana, and greet mourners. After Princess Diana's death in 1997, for instance, Her Majesty faced public criticism for initially staying at her Balmoral Castle in Scotland instead of returning to London, and for originally not flying the British flag at half-mast, which didn't happen until the day of Diana's funeral. The monarch later addressed the Princess of Wales's death in a televised statement. The Queen's popularity and that of the entire royal family rebounds during the first decade of the 21st century. Though 2002 marked Queen Elizabeth's Golden Jubilee, 50 years on the throne, the death of her mother and her sister early that year cast a pall on the celebration. In 2005, the Queen enjoyed public support when she gave her assent to Prince Charles' once unthinkable marriage to his longtime love Camilla Parker Bowles. In the final years of her reign, she continued many of her official duties, public appearances, and spent plenty of time outside with her beloved dogs and horses. The Queen and Prince Philip were proud parents of 4 children: Prince Charles, now known as King Charles, Princess Anne, Prince Andrew, and Prince Edward. In April 2021 AD, she lost her husband, Prince Philip, when he died at the age of 99. Queen Elizabeth II died on September 8, 2022 at the age of 96. She installed her 15th Prime Minister, Liz Truss, just 2 days before her death. Serving for 70 years, Queen Elizabeth was the longest reigning monarch in the British history. Franz Louis XIV, King of France from 14 May 1643 until his death in 1715, was the longest reigning monarch in the history, having served for 72 years. Thank you.